We all have that fantasy, don't we? The one where we're clearing out the attic on a lazy Sunday, cobwebs clinging to our hair, and we stumble upon a dusty, forgotten box. Inside, not old photographs or moth-eaten jumpers, but a life-changing treasure. It's a daydream most of us dismiss as pure fiction, something that only happens in movies. But for one unsuspecting guest on the BBC's Antiques Roadshow, that exact fantasy burst into breathtaking reality, leaving her speechless and the nation collectively holding its breath. The setting was as grand as the discovery itself, the magnificent hill of Tarvett Mansion in Fife, Scotland. The air was buzzing with the quiet hum of hope as people from all walks of life queued patiently, clutching their car boot finds and inherited curiosities. Among them was a woman with a story, though she didn't know it yet. In her hands she held not a grand painting or an ornate piece of furniture, but a simple blue ice cream box, a container more likely to hold old buttons or childhood trinkets than a small fortune. When she finally reached the table of Christian Beedman, a specialist in British and continental furniture, there was a moment of gentle hesitation. When you came to my table and said you had a coin collection, I thought, oh dear, she hasn't read the blurb that we don't have a coin specialist or a stamp specialist, Christian admitted with a good-natured smile. The sheer volume and complexity of coin collections mean they typically require a dedicated expert and hours of scrutiny. A single coin collection can take a day to go through, so we don't normally look at coins, unfortunately, he explained. But then she opened the box, and everything changed. As the lid came off the unassuming ice cream tub, a soft, warm glint caught the light. Christian leaned in, his initial professional reluctance melting away into pure, unadulterated curiosity. When I saw them, he recalled, I thought I would have a go at these after all. The story of their discovery was as humble as the box that held them. The guest explained that she was simply having a clear-out in her loft, that forgotten realm above our heads where memories and long-lost objects sleep. Tucked away, gathering dust, was the blue box. She'd opened it with little expectation, finding a pile of heavy, ornate coins. 2 of them, she noted, bore the famous profile of Queen Victoria, with dates from the 1800s. They felt substantial and looked lovely, but the thought that they could be anything more than decorative keepsakes hadn't truly crossed her mind. How could it? Christian carefully lifted one of the coins, its weight settling reassuringly in his palm. His expert eyes scanned the familiar designs, the portraits of monarchs long past. He turned to the woman, a sense of excitement building in his voice. He revealed that these were not just pretty tokens, they were gold bullion. This wasn't just metal. It was investment-grade gold, crafted into currency of a high purity. Nice attic find. I wish I'd bought your house, he quipped, the humor barely concealing his genuine astonishment. He began to catalog her discovery. These are gold sovereign, he declared. You've got 21 gold sovereigns and 2 half sovereigns. He explained that, in a technical sense, they were still legal tender. You could, in theory, walk into a shop and spend them. But he added, his tone shifting, they're used as a form of storing wealth effectively. These coins were a tangible link to a time before digital banking and global markets, a way for our ancestors to hold their life savings in the palm of their hand. The history locked within the metal was palpable. Something that's important is the dating on them, Christian continued, because some of the earlier ones can fetch more for their collectible value than for their gold weight. He pointed out the oldest pieces, minted during the long reign of Queen Victoria. The rest of the shimmering pile represented a procession of British history, with coins bearing the heads of Edward VI, George V, and George VI. They were largely from the late 19th and early 20th centuries, each one a tiny time capsule. Some were worn smooth by the thumbs of generations past, a testament to their journey. But their intrinsic value was undeniable. The guest listened, her expression a mixture of awe and dawning realization. She confessed that she had no idea what they could be worth, admitting she wasn't even sure they were real gold until that very moment. You can get fakes that aren't gold, Christian affirmed, before delivering the magical words, these are gold. He then put the discovery into a modern context, explaining the power of her find in today's economy. Gold has outperformed everything for a few years now, he said. The timing of her attic clear-out couldn't have been more perfect. He began to lay out the stunning mathematics of her good fortune. A year ago, he explained, a single gold